I always make sure, I think one of the first things I go to, unless it's something that I've never seen, if it's a big, like this past week I went out and bought Friday the 13th, and I'd already seen it in theater, and several weeks ago I bought, Underworld, Rise of the Lycans, and I had seen that in theaters. If it's something I've already seen in theaters, when I get home with that, usually one of the first things I do is throw in the bonus features. I go straight to the bonus features. I want to see the bonus features. I want to see the behind-the-scenes stuff, the making of, the interviews with the actors, not so much the interviews with the directors. I'm weird in the fact that I kind of like to listen to the commentary tracks and all that kind of stuff. And one thing I absolutely hate is when they sell me a 2-disc set and the second disc is not actually worth watching. My Bloody Valentine, the bonuses on that were not really, there wasn't anything good on there. No, they just had nothing great. And that was kind of distressing, disconcerting there. I will say, and I've brought this movie up several times, and because of where I work and what I do, I've recommended this movie to numerous people, and I've sold numerous copies, and I'm at a point where I hardly ever have it in stock because anytime anybody asks me if I know anything about it or if I could recommend a good horror movie, I go out and recommend Laid to Rest because the bonus features on that are just absolutely packed with goodness. They are fantastic. I hate it, absolutely hate it, as I'm sure anybody out there who's listening to this live or in rebroadcast, which I would have preferred you'd listen to it live, but thanks for listening. I hate when I get a horror DVD, or any DVD for that fact, and the bonus features suck. It's kind of like a ripoff. I think that's why a lot of us buy the DVDs, is because we want to hear that director prattle and run his mouth for 90 minutes, which is a lot longer than most of you want to listen to me run my mouth. And you want to see that behind-the-scenes stuff. You want to see the effects work. You want to see the production, well, maybe not the production design, but and one of the things they want to put on there all the time is costumes, wardrobe. Is there anybody out there who really cares and wants to know what the costume designer was thinking, or the continuity director had in mind when they were deciding what our anti-hero killer was going to wear? Do we care about that? No, we care about the effects. We care about the behind the interviews, obviously. We want to see. And that's, one of the things we always get ripped off, too. We always have, somebody saying, oh, well, working with so-and-so is great. She's fantastic. He's wonderful. They're like this, and they're such a this, and they're blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, we knew you were going to say that because nobody gets on the bonus scenes and says, hey, you know what? He's a fucking asshole. I never want to work with this guy again. I'm serious. I'm not joking. If they say it, they're joking, and it's usually some indie film. Which reminds me of something else I will talk about here in a few moments. Nobody ever gets on there and just slams their co-stars, which would be pretty funny if they were doing it seriously. I was saying, indie film had me thinking of something. Go over to illwillpress.com and check out the Foamy the Squirrel interviews. Or not interviews, but cartoons. Those are little flash cartoons where there is Foamy, who is a pissed-off squirrel. Huge attitude, little squirrel. And funny as hell. I think you'll enjoy it. Go over there. Check out www.illwillpress.com. Okay. I was going to talk about something. I had something. Believe it or not, I am doing all of this on the fly, by the seat of my pants, ad-libbing everything pretty much because I don't have anything written down. Let's do the convention schedule. I haven't done the convention schedule yet. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Why am I doing that? I have cheesy music. I do. Look, see? Okay, and our convention schedule for this week. June 26th to 28th, Monster Bash, International Classic Monster Movie Convention and Film Festival in Butler, Pennsylvania. That is, the website for that is monsterbashnews.com/BashHTM. July 11th to 12th, Blobfest, Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. That is www.thecolonialtheater.com/Blobfest. July 23rd to 26th, Comic-Con returns to San Diego, California. The website for that is, of course, www.comic-con.org. August 21st to 23rd, Monster Mania returns to Cherry Hill, New Jersey. That is www.monstermania.net. August 28th to the 30th, Rue Morgue's Festival of Fears returns to Toronto, or goes to. I don't know if they're returning to or not, but they're going to be in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The website for that, of course, is www.rue-morgue.com. September 4th to the 7th, DragonCon returns once again to Atlanta, Georgia. And the website for that is dragoncon.org. October 2nd to the 4th, Cinema Wasteland, which is a drive-in era movies and memorabilia convention, will be taking place in Strongsville, Ohio. Website for that is cinemawasteland.com. Okay, let's talk really quickly about... We have a caller from 818. Maybe this is our guest. Hello, caller.
Hey, Ed, it's Roger.
Hey, Roger, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm doing amazingly well for somebody who did not prepare at all for a show.
Could have fooled me, man. You're without a hitch, going off without a hitch.
I actually tend to do my best work when I'm just running at the mouse. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by Roger Scheck. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Scheck.
Scheck. Okay, I was making sure I was saying it right. Writer-director of the film Nobody Loves Alice, which is kind of a Fatal Attraction sort of like film.
Yeah, they've basically it's kind of Fatal Attraction meets Misery.
Fatal Attraction meets Misery. Okay, well, why don't you tell us how you got started with everything, the writing process, where the idea came from? Did you always want to make a movie, that kind of stuff?
Well, I was in college, film school in North Carolina at the North Carolina School of the Arts, and everybody was pushing me to make a short film, and I basically said, why? I can't do anything with a short film, so I went out and made this feature. I had written about 5 features prior to this, and all of which were, $1 million to $80 million, things I couldn't afford to do. So I took a note from Robert Rodriguez's book, Rebel Without a Crew, and said, one of his passages says that I had a turtle and I had a town, and I made a movie about it. So that's kind of what I started doing, was taking account of what I had at my disposal that I couldn't lose, and just started